Okay, round two. So I've taken out the first piece that connects here. This piece is basically the same, maybe a slightly different length. I'm using huge channel locks. So why am I taking out both? If you have a blowout on one or the other, which means you've got water dripping or leaking from one or the other, it's doing that because the pump heated up, which means it's violated or even burned and melted the PVC that's inside it. So you've got to change both pieces if you want to get a good seal. Now, why would that happen to a pump? What happens is, in any sprinkler system, for one reason or another, things go wrong. Usually, there's either dirt in line or one of the solenoids is not opening one of the zones. Or a sprinkler head has been knocked off by a lawnmower and it's reducing the amount of water flow by taking all the water away from the other zones, so there's not enough water flowing through, so the pump gets hot. In any case, if you're going to change one, you've got to change the other. I made that mistake on my home well equipment of not doing that, and I ended up having to change it twice. I don't enjoy this, but I'm proud of myself at the end of it. The first time I did this, let's just say I had to talk myself into it. The thing is, you've got nothing to lose. These pieces cost probably under $10 if you're buying two of these and the pipe. So if you screw it up and you just can't get it done, then you can hire somebody to do it. So there's really nothing to lose in trying to do it yourself. So that's what I did. In order to convince myself to try it, I had to come up with a cute name so that I wasn't so intimidated. So I began calling these pieces Legos with glue. And so to me, that's what they are. So now I'm checking here carefully with my finger, because I don't want to cut it, to see if the threads feel like they're okay. This is, as you can see by the look of the pump, it's fairly old and has held up over many, many repairs. This typically happens at the startup of a new season when your stuff has been sitting for a while. You know, the seals dry out, the solenoids don't open, one thing or another happens. This pump has been running now for probably a month, and I just noticed it a couple days ago and shut the system down. So, here's what we've got. This is basically half of this piece. It's the bottom half. So you buy it like this. This is the piece you'll use. This piece you'll put away on your shelf and never use probably. But this is the piece that I'm going to need for the repair. And you have to buy it as a set as far as I know. So now I'm going to get my pieces ready to go. I will make a comment, however, because these are things I learned, unfortunately, the hard way over time. These right here are called the valves. These open and close to allow the different zones. I have 8 zones here. This little piece right here literally screws in and has 2 wires. And you can see, if you have a problem with one of these not working properly, you don't have to cut the whole piece out. Sometimes, many times, oftentimes, it's the solenoid. Now when I looked at my old solenoids, they were cracked open. You could see the plastic was cracked on them, either here or along the sides. So these literally unscrew. It was much cheaper repair than trying to cut the PVC and then fit the whole system back together. And then these wires, I use a butt splice just because I liked the firmness of it. But the other wire then runs up into the timer box. I think that's enough on that for now.